loading snacks.
What's happening, everybody? This has been a long time coming.
Excuse me.
No, you're good. No, you're good. Us three have brainstormed and talked about this for a very long time. It seems like, and everything's kind of in place to where it feels like a good time to start doing this. But, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first episode of the Loading Snacks Anime Chat podcast. With myself, Sin, your favorite waifu senpai. We have Noah, who likes to piss people off, in the building with us. And we have apparently, he ticks some people off online.
Oh, you mean the ReZero? Oh, that was just one weeb. And I don't piss people off. I piss
No, he commented like twice.
Yeah, I know.
2 weeks in a row.
And we have the plushie queen herself with the royal subjects in the building with us. And we're very much looking forward to doing this weekly with you all. So first off, how was y'all weekend? Everything good? Everything good at home? I know you was hanging out with family, Noah, and
my week was great. We celebrated Grandma's 80th.
Shout out to Aunt. Yes.
Yeah, we celebrated Grandma's 80th. I saw Sin's dad, and yeah, it was a good weekend. Saw lots of family, saw all the siblings, had a good time, ate some good food, watched some anime when I got home, watched Mad Max Furiosa. It was fire.
Okay.
It was good. That was a good movie.
Yeah, highly recommend if anybody hasn't seen it. I got the Blu-ray, and the quality, that's definitely one of the best looking quality movies I've ever seen.
That's good to know.
It's crazy, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I know Gabby was giving me a little bit of hell Saturday night through a series of texts because I decided to text somebody
Friday
else.
night.
It was Friday. Okay.
Saturday.
Sorry, I know it was the weekend. I know it was the weekend night. But
I went out and had dinner and margaritas with Mar. And we got a little feisty because we had margaritas.
Yeah, because I dared to text Mari something, and then she yells at me, and then apparently Mari takes
her on our date.
Yeah, and then Mari wants to take her phone, and we just start arguing back and forth. So now I got to deal with her after we record this. So it's just fun times all over the place. But we're here
today.
I'm glad we all had great weekends. I know we're all excited to do this. So we'll give you guys who's listening just a quick rundown of what you kind of can expect each week. We'll always introduce the pod, and we'll move on to news right after that Noah's going to hit us with in a minute here. Things that we should know, we feel like you guys should know as well. We'll recap Thriller Park following up that. So we're not going to go into the full heavy details like we were doing with the Spoiler Boys version. We'll save that kind of talk for the people that are in watching it with us on Thursdays, and we'll just kind of just recap some things here. Gabby's going to hit us with a topic that she has loaded up for us. We don't know what it is, but she does, so that should be good fun. And then we'll get into the weeklies, the stuff that we're currently watching from the season, what's good, what's bad, what we're dropping. I know we got one to probably talk about that, and things of that nature. Elusive Samurai. So I say we jump right into it. So news, Noah. What do we need to know about?
What do we need to know about all things anime and manga? So a lot of things dropped recently because we got the fall season coming up. Namely, first thing is a video game. We got Overwatch dropping a full My Hero collab.
I just updated mine for that. I just updated my Overwatch for that. So.
I'm definitely going to update it. Although, I wish I gave you some pictures to show. The skins' faces are a little...
it's cool. I can put them over. I can overlay them in post. So it's good.
Them skins' faces, they don't look good. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I wish we had like a little flash or show a flash of the trailer or something. The skins' faces, they look kind of awful. But the characters are there nonetheless. And you see what I'm saying? They look kind of like...
They're like,
yeah,
I don't know.
But the characters are gonna be Deku, Ochako, Toga, All Might, and Shigaraki. So we'll have some of the. It'll still be it's still My Hero. So we'll have some of the cool, favorites. It would be cool if they had Hawks and Bunny Senpai.
Maybe later, depending on how well it does, they could bring it back for another term or something like that. So
yeah, who knows? They dropped a good amount. Like that's what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 skins. So yep. Next, we got a trailer for the next Batman Ninja anime, and it doesn't look promising. So we're gonna go ahead and move forward from that.
I didn't find the first one promising. So if y'all want to go hear my take on it, you can go back and look it up when I did it on Anime Vote at some point a few years ago. So I wasn't that impressed.
It's unfortunate. We also heard that after a long time, 4 or 5 years, I think, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid is coming back.
Hey, let's go.
With a movie.
I
don't
know
know why. I'm a little confused at why they think that anime still has enough clout for a movie, but I don't think it does.
Everything has.
I agree. Like it's got like a niche following. Like it's not like the big shonens or nothing like that to get them.
I mean, it was one of the most popular series when it was airing. It just hasn't aired in years, so it's like to come back with the movie it's just a little
interesting.
So that's coming. I'm excited. I like that. I really love that slice of life. And then the fight scene at the end of the final season just made it. Oof. That fight scene was on some Dragon Ball Z shit. On the final season,
the second season, so I do need to go watch that just to.
That whole anime is worth watching just for the final episode. Literally, if you watch the whole thing and get to that final episode, I promise you that shit was like a generational fight. And it was Dragon Maids. Like it was slice of life. And then the animators were like, you know what? Let's end this. I think, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think it was the end of the final season, which is the third season. And then moving forward, Jujutsu Kaisen has come to an end with 271 chapters. Thank you,
haven't read it yet.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that is such a good anime. I'm looking forward to see how it all comes to an end.
The manga has come to an end.
Myself on one point of the ending, but I haven't finished reading it yet.
The ending has been harshly received by the fans overall.
Really?
As well as My Hero has come to an end, and the ending, at least from the Western fan base, which is one I pay attention to, has been harshly received as well.
I've myself seen a lot about people are not happy about it.
I myself have read them, and I think that Jujutsu Kaisen is worse than My Hero. It is very strange. I will say that. I'm not a huge Jujutsu Kaisen fan. Like I like the fight scenes, but I don't even know.
So you think the ending is just how they ended is just bad, or just worse of the two?
Okay. I just think it's just weird. I don't think it's bad. It didn't really make sense to me, and it didn't really I don't want to spoil anything for y'all, but My Hero, its ending was also just super underwhelming. And then you could technically say the main character didn't do everything he wanted to do, which he said he was going to do, which I guess is like the goal of a shonen, is to finish your main goal.
Do y'all think it's possible for My Hero to come back, especially since you already know how it all ends, to come back with them more so being as adults going forward and doing a storyline based around that and how they're doing their adult careers?
Like My Hiruto?
Like pulling a Boruto?
Yes.
Oh God, no!
Don't
do that, please. Don't do that.
I mean, I think they could. I think they could, but
I don't think they should.
Yeah.
So you're saying leave it the way it is. Don't do a continuation after it, Gabby.
Leave my babies alone.
Yeah, ask Gabby, because I'm just here for the ride with My Hero. I'm gonna be honest.
I honestly love My Hero, and I like where it's going. So I'm interested to see why people are so mad about the ending, because I have heard some things, but I haven't delved into it myself. I'm I don't know. I think I'm 15 chapters behind the end, so I'm right up on it. But I don't know. I have a feeling I'll probably like the end a lot, just to be honest. But we'll see.
Speaking of My Hero, I gotta say, Gabby, I honestly think you might not like it.
No, what happens to my baby?
You might not like it.
I'm definitely looking forward.
I just don't want to say anything. I mean, I have a reference that I could put in Naruto terms, for example. But I feel like if I say that, even not
get it.
You might understand what I'm saying. So, but anyways.
Yeah, let her know once we wrap all this up, so that way we're not spoiling too much for the people who haven't read it yet. But I definitely want to hear.
You just won't tell me. You just won't tell me because I don't want to know. Because I'll understand Naruto terms.
But when you do watch it, I want to know what you. I want to know what you
thought. I have a perfect example of how it would be if if it was like Naruto, or I can't use One Piece because it hasn't ended, but like I guess I could make it up. But like the way how Naruto ended, but it's got, you know what I mean, everything happened that was supposed to happen. So like, or example, like what's another story? Like Attack on Titan ended, everything happened that was supposed to happen. So there's a way that I could give you an analogy, and I will later.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving forward. Okay. Frieren season 2 got announced.
Yes.
Yay! Frieren.
We are definitely adding that to the weeklies. That's all I'm gonna say.
So hyped. Hell yes. I can't wait. Frieren is finally out. Is Madhouse officially back? Overlord season 4 dropped a year ago after we had to wait for like 5-6 years, if I'm not mistaken. Madhouse is a really good studio, and they're notorious for dropping just really good anime and then forgetting about them. Batum, One Punch Man, Overlord, No Game No Life, the most needs a season 2 anime ever. And like a year and a half ago or a year ago, we got Overlord season 4, and then we got like a year break. They made Frieren, and then Frieren ended, and then we got Overlord movie, and then Overlord movie ended, and now they've announced, or it aired, and now they've announced Frieren. So something to me is telling me that these things are in sync, and I'm wondering, is Madhouse back? Because a lot of people was thinking they're about to throw in the towel. So that's
I think we'll be able to have a better assessment of that after we go see the movie. So I know we're all going to go see it together when it comes out. So Frieren, they knocked it out the park
for sure. I think we'll be able to have an assessment when they continually drop for another 2 or 3 years. That's when we can find out, are they back? Because it takes a while to drop anime, but the thing is, they're notorious for dropping really good titles like one season and just making a real strong hold on us, and then we don't get it again ever. So
fingers crossed. So, fingers crossed.
With Story of Wand and Sword got season 2.
Saw that, and I know we need to knock out the finale. We're definitely going to do that. But yeah, I'm very, very excited. Even without knowing how it ends, the first 11 episodes have been on the edge of our seat. So I'm excited to see where that goes.
The Story of Wand and Shield.
I'm only about halfway through right now, but I like it so far.
Okay.
My man Mike Will made it. I love Mike. Mike Will made it. And then episode 1 of Uzumaki has aired, which is a new creepy horror anime. I don't know if it has a manga.
The Junji Ito one.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's done by Junji Ito, one of the most legendary horror creators in Japan.
Y'all can have that.
Everything he makes is
Not
fire.
gonna watch it.
No.
And yes, I'm super excited. Episode 1, it's airing on HBO Max. I don't know where else. I think on HBO Max in the West. I can't say where.
I might try the first episode just because we do Thriller Park and stuff like that. I might try, but don't be shocked if I cut it out.
Yeah, doing Thriller Park but not watching thrillers is crazy.
You know what? Y'all won. We said what we're going to do. Everybody picked thrillers and horrors. I had no choice but to go along with the ride. So luckily, nothing has been bothersome to me. And we only banned two shows that we can't watch in that. We only banned 2 shows. Right. As long as it was a Higurashi When Cicadas Cry and the Magica Motoga one that Gabby banned.
Oh, why did we ban them? I don't even remember that.
It was like we first started.
That either.
We were looking at it. Gabby was like, "No, we're not watching that." Because I've never seen it, and I want to see it. But
I remember I watched the first episode of that one, and I went, "Oh no."
Yeah, and Higurashi, like I said, I tried that one. Yeah. Yep. Nope. I'm good on that. Pass.
It's so funny because I say no to things like that, but here I am again on my corpse party shit.
And you be going down the dragon hole or rabbit hole.
Yeah, I just watched like 2.5 hour videos on Corpse Party yesterday, going through the visual novels and the games. I'm into my Corpse Party.
How long ago did we watch Corpse Party?
A while ago, but then I got onto visual novel YouTube, and now I'm back. And now
you can find like the websites of the visual novels too, and they have like really good websites, and then you can just like scroll through them. The Fate one's particularly really good. They have like all these designs and stuff, and like Saber will like have like a little animation while you're reading. It's pretty cool.
That's cool. Too bad I'm into the gore right now. We're going Corpse Party, and next as I'm moving on to School Days because the guy also has videos on School Days.
Okay, send me those. Send me those. Yes, the School Days one.
That was like 2 hours long.
Yes, because I've always wanted to go back and play the CD-ROM game of it because apparently there's like 12 different endings to School Days.
Yeah.
Depending on how you answer questions and play it all out. So I wanted to see just what the other endings were possibly could be for
Yeah,
that.
I think this. I don't know if he goes through every single one, but he at least goes through and describes the story and like backgrounds and different endings. Not all.
Okay.
I'm not sure of all, most of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm back on my Arrow gore visual novel stuff.
Nice. Oh, well,
Nice.
definitely keep us informed on that journey. Definitely.
Nice.
Okay. Anything
Right.
else?
There's a couple things, but that's about it. That's most important stuff. That's most
All right,
important
that's cool.
stuff coming out. There's a cool visual collaboration between Dan Machi and Wistoria Sword because they're the same creator, same writer.
Nice.
I didn't know. Okay.
They had my son Mike Will and my son Bell Cranel dashing towards each other. It was a really cool.
I saw it in the chat. Yeah, I was like, that's cool.
Other than that, nothing crazy.
Cool. Well, since we're talking Corpse Party, which leads us right to Thriller Park, let's get into recap what we've watched recently. Week before last, while we were getting ready to start doing this podcast, we decided we were going to watch because we were fortunate enough to be able to see the first episode of ReZero Season 3, the whole 90-minute episode. And since you're the one that brought this to us, Noah, put it on our map. What were your impressions of that first episode of the new season? Without spoiling it for the people who have, because it's not aired yet.
Oh, the new season?
Yeah, for episode 1, season 3, what was your impressions of that episode?
The episode was dope. The animation upgrade. We got to see Emilia in a kimono. So that's always great. We got to see Reinhardt a whole lot. They're in a whole new town. We got new possible archbishops and characters and designs. So it was a great episode. Everybody was there. Everybody looks happy. So that means everybody's gonna die soon. So, yeah. So and then at the end of the episode, Subaru got his shit rocked. And you know what I mean? It was prime ReZero. Back in, except this time Subaru got his whole party there. He's got relationships, he's got god level spirits, and Amelia at full strength, and Reinhardt, who's literal Goku powers. So, you know,
Reinhardt.
I'm
excited to see what happens.
I'm excited to see so many characters back together again. Like Noah mentioned, oh my god, the graphics, all this upgrade, it was so beautiful. I mean, ReZero's always had really good colors, I think, but
yeah, their animation
turns it up. It's like times 10 or 100. I don't know. It was just beautiful. Seeing everyone with slightly different facial structures because of the new graphics, it was really nice. It was almost more clear. Garf looks so cute. He looks like such a baby. But it was really good. I like where we're going in this storyline. We're getting to learn more about the different candidates. And it's just nice to see where this is going to bring us next. And we knew more Subaru Death was coming because this is ReZero. So it's been a while since we got that. And I was officially re-traumatized. Except now re-traumatized, and I love the character more, so it hurts even deeper.
Yeah, I agree with both of you all. The episode went exactly how I expected it to go. That it was going to be a lot of catching up with what everybody's been up to since the way season 2 ended, and it was cool to see everybody, you know, getting back together, meeting up, seeing new locations, and all that kind of stuff. And I fully expected for the end of that episode for the ball to drop. Now, with what happened, holy shit, I'm just going to leave it at that. Like, y'all see it for yourself when it drops. But the only thing I was worried about watching it, one of my favorite things about the show is its production value. And until the ball kind of drops in that episode, I wasn't seeing what I was looking for as far as like the cool camera angles and just stuff like that it likes to play with. But once we get to that point, that production value shows up all over again. I'm like, okay, this is what I've been looking for, this type of stuff, like with the filter they were using and camera angles. Like, okay, I was worried for a second watching, like, y'all get rid of the cool stuff I liked. No, they were just saving it for the end of the episode. Yeah, to when they hit us over the head severely. But great start to it. I'm looking forward to watching it again when it officially drops. I believe that's this weekend or next weekend or something like that, where the first episode drops. So,
I think it's October 4th.
Mm-hmm. Somewhere in October.
Yep, I
As
think it's
well.
October 4th. Down in 2 days.
So I like them taking the time to just get into
We
everybody
lost.
before we get into the
Oh, we
discussion.
got him.
He's
You're
back.
back.
We lost you for a
Okay.
second.
Okay. That's a little worrisome, but
Oh.
we're gonna keep the ball rolling. We'll keep the ball rolling. We also watched Ninja Scroll to celebrate its month. This month its 30th anniversary for it. Dropped in 1993. It's a classic when it comes to anime movies. I know you haven't seen it in a long time, Noah. I know it was Gabby's first time seeing it. So, Gabby, since it was your first time seeing it, what are your thoughts on Ninja Scroll?
I mean, it wasn't. I'm and going in. It was, it was a '90s movie. You could tell from the art style. I liked the art style. It was good. I mean, that might be my nostalgia for '90s style graphics, which when I started watching anime. So I really liked it. There were points that were interesting. The powers were interesting. A lot of rapey scenes. Not a big fan of those.
Yeah.
Overall story was interesting. It felt a bit rushed, but I mean, overall it wasn't a bad movie. I'd probably recommend it to people, but I don't think I would have watched it unless people told me about it.
Okay. Got that. What about you, Noah? Your impressions?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. I thought the main character was cool. I thought the fight scenes and the animation were cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good movie. I can't say the plot really dragged me in that much, but the overall production and the soundtrack was cool too. It was a
The
little
soundtrack, that was good, yes.
yeah. I like the nostalgia with the super flashy epileptic
Ah,
effects they always do in the 90s. They do
yeah.
that with in Kenshin so much. But yeah, I thought it was good. I'll give it like a 7.5 for an anime movie. And I would recommend it to people, especially people who like gory and good 90s stuff. Definitely if you like 90s stuff and ninja stuff. Yep, I would recommend it.
Yeah. It's a definite classic movie when it comes to anime. Like you said, animation, enjoyed it. Action,
Mhm.
enjoyed it. I will say, going back and watching it now, yeah, it is a little cringeworthy. You know what I'm saying? In some scenes, like, was it really necessary to put that in there? Does it add to the story or any type of thing? No, you just threw it in there for shock value and over that stuff. But overall, solid movie. Very solid
Mm-hmm.
movie. I do recommend it to people, especially if you're looking to get into anime and you're looking for some recommendations. It is a strong recommendation for a movie to watch. And it's a part of,
Be prepared to watch it.
It's 30th anniversary, so there's history. A lot of people champion the movie, so yeah, go ahead and see it for yourself.
Yeah.
And just enjoy it. So with that, and remember, everybody, Thriller Park Thursdays evenings in the Discord. We may change the time. Who knows? We still got to discuss that. But Thursday evenings, you'll see the posts go up for when we're doing those. Join us, talk with us, have a discussion. It's a good time. So Gabby,
Yes.
you have a topic for us to discuss today.
Yes.
What is that discussion you would like to have with us?
So I had a lot of topics in my head going into this and kind of just talking with you and a few other people at the, beginning of this. It's like we're at the beginning. So I've kind of rolled a few questions into one on this,
Okay.
but all pretty simple questions. But how did you get introduced to anime? Like how did you begin your anime journey? How did you get introduced? Like what kind of stuff were you into, aka like your first anime? What led you into it, and kind of what were the first ones you actively chose yourself? Because I assume if someone introduced you, that was something they liked. Did you stay on that path, or did you go and find your own new shows?
Let's see. Shout out to my uncle Leonardo, passed away recently. Rest in peace. But he's the one I credit to getting me into anime. Mainly him. Living in my grandmother's house with my aunts and uncles and grandparents. He had me watching stuff I should not have been watching at a very young age. Like I was watching like Robotech, even though I didn't know Robotech was an anime. I just thought it looked really cool. Like me and my uncle Enrico, shout out to him. Like we would watch it. Then after a while down the line, I learned, oh, that's what an anime is. You know what I mean? I didn't know it. But Leonardo was feeding me stuff like Fist of the North Star, The Guyver, Wicked City, Crying Freeman,
classics.
Legend of the Overfiend, if y'all know what that is. Like he was feeding me nothing but blood, sex, and violence. That's all.
Oh God.
Hey, nephew, you got to watch this. All right, that's cool. I'm gonna watch it. And
you're a kid. You're a boy. Yeah. It's like I want this stuff.
Yes, and it's nothing but blood,
be with him by yourself,
and sex. That's it. That's all he was watches. And well, you know, I got into it, but as I got older, I'm learning other things. We mostly stick to movies in my friend group growing up, like OVAs, movies. We didn't do the TV shows until I don't know why or how we went and bought a the VHS tape. It was like 2 episodes on the tape. I don't know why we even selected it because it was just TV episodes, like just a random episode. I think it was one where they were him.
You got the original Blu-ray, bro. Yeah, VHS Blu-ray.
Yeah, these were straight tapes.
They came with 2 episodes.
That's it, 2 episodes. And it was the first episode I saw was with Ramna and Shampoo, and they were at a ski resort fighting each other, going down the ski slopes. And I was laughing so hard watching it. I didn't realize how funny anime could actually be because I looked at it, like I said, if it ain't blood, sex, and violence, I didn't know nothing about it. And then I'm watching this and I'm seeing the comedic portion of things like, oh, hold up. I'm loving these characters. And this actually like has me like holding my stomach, laughing out hard, loud. Like, so we would go back up to the store. What's the next episode? Where's episodes 21 and 22 at? All right, let's get this tape. You know, we just started, and I think we started season 3 or season 2. We didn't even start season 1. We were just going to get what they had and just kind of watching them in pieces, putting everything together. So Ramna holds a very special place in my heart because that's when I kind of started to venture into other maybe genres. I didn't get into the slice of lives and the romance stuff till way later. I was a straight kind of action guy. So Ramna had action, cool characters, and it was funny. So it just worked for me. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I credit him to getting me on the path of anime and starting this journey that I've never left since he started to put me onto it. So had a very dark, twisted start, but where I'm at now, I'm happy. So nice. Hopefully that answers that question.
It does.
Now he can't watch horror because he got traumatized when he was a kid.
That's why.
Nope, I did in the same house.
See?
What the hell? You know what? Everybody knows about this, but you also. Here's what happened with that.
Uh-oh. Story time. Hold on. Go ahead.
Got your cup. This thing about me, my family were all together. Me too. And I'm under the bed. We're watching Poltergeist in my grandmother and
bed?
Yes.
Like physically under the bed or just under the
Did they have one of those beds that was like Nana? I remember Nana's bed was always really tall, so we could get under there really easy.
Yeah, so it was high raised off the ground. So I'm laying like flat on my stomach under the bed watching the movie. And whatever that scene was with the clown attacking the little dude under the bed freaked me, pardon my French, all the way the fuck out. Destroyed me. Never went back. And at one point I tried to go back. Here, I'm in bed with my mother. We're watching The Fly. And my dad was downstairs watching it. I don't know what he was thinking, but he thought it would be funny to come upstairs and bust open the door and act like he's throwing up on me, like the dude is throwing up on the guy with the alien, or not the alien, but the fly vomit or whatever.
That sounds great.
So he kicks the door and does that, grabs my leg, blah, like he's throwing up on me, scared the living piss out of me. I've never looked at horror ever since, ever again. Like, no, I'm not doing this. When I watch it, something
bad sounds like my dad.
No. So I stay away from horror at all costs. I can do thriller. I can walk the line, but once it's something about horror when a certain, I don't know, it's a feeling or something that I see just does not sit right with me, I cut it off and leave. Like, nope, I'm done. I'm never watching this again.
How do you differentiate between horror and gore? Like, I know gore is blood and guts and stuff.
Yeah,
but a lot of gore is horror.
Nah, Walking Dead is
How do you differentiate? Is it not horror
gory.
if it's gore?
Gore doesn't bother me. I can watch
I think you
gore.
just don't deal with jump scares.
It's not jump
That's what
scares.
it sounds like.
It's not jump scares. I can play a video game. There can be jump scares in it. Like it's something about that horror aspect. I don't know, something, the creepiness of it, like not being able to protect myself from whatever it is or something that freaks me out. That
video games you can't do.
No, I don't know. No, I can do a jump like I watch Supernatural.
Video games that are just jump scares.
Yeah, but I have a gun in my hand. With the games I play like that, like Resident Evil. So jump out if you would. I'm gonna pull that trigger.
Therapy, bro.
I think he needs to play Outlast.
Yeah. No.
Therapy and some Outlast. You'll be good.
A few years ago in Extra Life, I tried to play Phasmophobia. I couldn't get past the tutorial.
What? That game is so docile.
And that's why you play Outlast.
Oh.
I want to watch.
No, Gabby, don't you dare start this. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Put your phone down. Put your phone down. You're not doing that.
Find a whole bunch of horror memes to send them.
I won't look at them.
Idea.
We gotta wait till 3 a.m. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna send it on invisible ink, and you're gonna
send it 3 a.m.
Right. It's gonna have like Elsa's face, and then you're gonna uncover, and it's gonna be like a dead pumpkin face.
See, since you're telling me you're playing, I know to just not open anything you send me.
I'm gonna figure out
We're just gonna wait till you forget about it.
Yep.
I won't forget this.
No, I'm too petty.
Y'all are evil. I know Gabby's gonna. I know Gabby's gonna try. She's gonna try. Oh my gosh! What about you, Noah? Y'all leave me alone.
I get into anime.
Yeah.
I actually got into. I think if I remember correctly, I got into manga first because my parents were real strict about the stuff we watched. I was the complete opposite of Lo. I did watch a lot of stuff, like when we went to Nana's house and stuff like that, and when we were unsupervised at cousin's house watching TV. Mm-hmm. But when we went to the library, my mom would spend a lot of time there, and she is like, she was a literature teacher for a while, and she's just like a real studious person. She loves reading, so she was just always at the library. And when I was there bored, I would either A, get on Neopets, or B, go to the manga section. And the first manga I read was Fist of the North Star. And then I saw the anime, and that intrigued me a lot because I was like, yo, I read this and now I'm watching it. And that's probably still to this day why I like to read stuff and then watch it. But then I saw Fist of the North Star, and then I can't remember. I think it was either Dragon Ball Z next. And we used to watch that, and when anime was getting popular, mom and dad didn't want us to watch anything that was like too stupid or like, so they didn't let us watch Ed, Edd and Eddy. We had to sneak and watch SpongeBob and stuff like that because they didn't want us watching that. They wanted us to all be scholars. So then my dad didn't want us watching Dragon Ball Z either until he saw a speech from Goku during the Frieza arc. And then my dad became a Goku fan. And even when he would lecture me, he would bring up things Goku said in his speeches and stuff. Yeah. And so every week we got to watch Dragon Ball Z with my dad. And cool. He wouldn't really watch, but he'd be doing one of those things where like he'd pass by and then stop, sit on the edge of the sofa. And the next thing you know, he's watching the whole episode pretty much every week. That's what he would do.
It's every guy with a Hallmark movie.
Yep, and his favorite movies are like Gladiator, Patriot, all movies with great speeches. So when he heard Goku's speech, he was like, "Yeah, this is tough." And then after that, the Naruto Ninja Storm game started coming out, and my uncle Mario, he's a real gamer head, and he had a friend who could mod a GameCube to Japanese. And then we got a Japanese version of Naruto, and we couldn't read anything. We had to just guess where everything was. And we had all these characters. I was like, yo, this game is fucking sick. Sorry, I'm not supposed to curse on YouTube. Freaking sick. And I was playing, I can't remember who I was playing with. I think it was either Neji first. And I was like, yo, this game is sick. And then when I heard the anime was coming to Toonami, I was like, bro, the character. That was the first time I could experience like characters I played in a video game and in a show at the same time. Because they had a few like Game Boy games, but Japan did way better with like, if you have a show that's popular, it's got a video game. Over here, we'd have like a few Game Boy Advance games of some popular movie or something. So, and then from there, I think I was a casual watcher until I was probably like 18, probably like 17, 18. And then I remember I rewatched Naruto and Dragon Ball Z because I hadn't finished Shippuden and it had finally come to the US on Netflix. And I rewatched it. And then I started getting into Japanese voice actors because I watched it in Japanese and I always watched it in English. And then I was like, this time let me check out Japanese. And then from there was history. I just started watching. I remember at one point I said I'm going to watch every anime on Crunchyroll. That was my goal. I was like,
something similar. It was a website I used, and I would go through like genres. Like, okay, what's in action? Have I watched the top 50? I would do that. They're like, hey, what's adventure? Do the same thing. And it got to a point for me where only thing was left was horror and like romance. Right. I was like, well, I'm not doing horror, so yeah, it's gonna be romance. And I started going through those, like, holy hell, these are good. Like, oh my gosh, like I'm staying up all night watching these. So I get that.
And that's what it was. Like after that, I started doing, research on studios, and I realized like, oh, if this studio makes this anime, this one's gonna be good too. Or this musical composer does this. I'm gonna watch what else he does. That's when I found out about Watanabe because I really liked Animatrix. So then I was obsessed with Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo because I was like, anything Watanabe makes, I'm gonna go watch. So that's when I like started looking up the industry stuff on my anime list and stuff like that. And yeah, from there it was pretty much history. But I learned in like probably like because I used to watch like 2 12-episode anime in one day. And then I realized I was like, bro, there's no way I'm watching all that's on Crunchyroll. It took me like a month. I probably watched like 15. I was like, there's no way.
Yeah, I got to rethink this whole thing.
I was like, I got to re-strategize. And now we're here.
Yeah.
Now we probably have watched every anime on Crunchyroll by now.
Probably. What about you, Gab?
So, as you both know, my father is a big comic book nerd. So,
yes,
the nerds have been in my genes and my blood very early on.
I actually didn't know that.
Oh, you didn't? Yes.
Remember, I didn't even know your brother was your brother. I was friends with you and your brother.
Separately.
And I was like, oh.
You're related.
I was like, wait a minute. Oh, you have the same last name.
Hold on.
That was so funny.
That was. But yeah, Dad's big comic book. So, he was always and video games. So like just from when I was really young, 8 years old, I was sitting there watching my dad play Half-Life 2 on the computer for like 8 hours a day. So I was introduced very early on to video games and stuff. And I got into Pokemon extremely early in life. And Pokemon, while technically an anime, I didn't consider it an anime or really know what an anime was. I just thought it was a cartoon.
Same.
So you could say that was my first anime, but I don't consider that my first. Around 5th grade, this girl named Lydia moves into my neighborhood and we're in class together. And I look over and she's drawing something. And she's drawing anime or she's drawing manga. Mm-hmm. So we become good friends. She's introducing me and teaching me how to draw. And she gives me my first manga. So in a sense, I like to think that manga introduced me to anime first, kind of just like Noah. So I started reading Fruits Basket. And then she gave me other ones like Card Captor Sakura. And, I would say as most girls, I got introduced to the shoujo romance sector.
I thought you were going to say BL, but shoujo ain't bad. BL
didn't come for a long ways down the timeline. You might be front and center now, but we had to wait a little bit.
I know, right?
I was gonna say,
you just dove straight in. Okay, she just
dove straight in.
Yeah. And then we got to BL. No, I am in 5th grade.
That's crazy.
But so I started reading that stuff with her, and we both started drawing together. It really became a bonding thing. And then I figured out that Fruits Basket had an anime, so we got those single disc DVDs with like 4 episodes on them, and we would watch them, and then we get the next one, we watch them, and sometimes they came in packs, but usually it was individual. And so we did that. But at the same time, you watch like Toonami and like Cartoon Network. Well, Toonami, they always had that they had Tom and his little after show, his little
Mhm.
nighttime routine. Well, there was anime in that. And this is how I found One Piece.
The tsunami.
And this is how I was introduced to the thing that I might have started with Fruits Basket, but One Piece triggered everything for me. Because it was on consistently along with Naruto at night and Inuyasha. Dragon Ball Z was on too, but it was always later on in the evenings. So Inuyasha, Naruto, and One Piece especially were kind of what brought me into anime. So much to the point where like I want to watch it so bad that I would go to bed at night, and then after mom and dad went to bed, or after mom went to bed, dad would come into my room, wake me up and say, "Okay, you have an hour and a half to go watch your shows. After Inuyasha, you have to come up and go to bed, and don't tell your mother."
Awesome. Awesome.
And so
W
I
Dad.
would
Yes.
sitting there watching, and of course, dad would just fall asleep. So I watched a lot more. And it was up till like
Nice.
12:30, 1 a.m. I was like, I gotta go to bed until like what was until like Adult Swim would start.
Okay.
In like really late at night with those like, Annoying Orange and those kinds of shows. Like,
Squidbillies.
yes. Yeah. All of those shows, the anime would end. I would basically watch until the anime ended. And Prince of Tennis. Prince of Tennis was on there too.
Oh,
Oh, that was so good. Of course, all of this is
classic.
English, but I still loved it so much. But
No,
then
but the
that
old
drove,
English dubs were good
yeah.
though.
Yeah, they were.
That's when they had real passion in their dub.
Yeah,
I'm not
except for
disrespecting the voice actors of today, but
it's
I do feel
okay.
like it's rushed.
Yes. Except for the four kids. We don't talk about four kids and their
True.
stupid lollipop that they gave Sanji.
No.
True.
No.
We don't talk
Four
about
Kids
four
is the
kids.
reason why One Piece took so long to break off in the West.
Yep.
I
Yep.
They made
didn't
Luffy
take that
sound like
long for me.
You go buy 144 episodes of One Piece and you can't air 40 of them because they're too violent for kids. What are you thinking?
Violent.
Yeah.
But One Piece also triggered, I think, because I wanted to watch it and I couldn't watch it in order, I started looking online for those. And I still remember this one website that I can't find to this day. It's an exclusive One Piece website that had all of the episodes listed and it had information about the crew and everything. And I actually spoiled Frankie for myself way ahead of time.
Wow.
Really?
But I really didn't like him at first. I just saw it and I'm like,
I
no.
don't think I liked Frankie at first either.
But I mean, I was way ahead of the
But then you get to know
way
Frankie, and then
ahead.
everybody loves Frankie too.
Oh, as soon as I met Frankie, I loved him. But that introduced me to my watching it on the internet. And then you could not drag me away from the computer. I was watching anime in any way that I could get. If I could monopolize the family computer for hours, you couldn't drag me away at all. And that spurred into other loves that I have, like fan fiction. That
Yes.
spurred into that. And I adventured into fanfiction.net and
Haven't came
Pretty
back from that rabbit hole since.
no, the rabbit hole has not ended at all. So games and comics brought me into anime, and anime brought me into more games and comics in the end too. So
That's
as well
awesome.
as plushies and fan fiction. So it all came
So
full
interesting
circle.
how it's so interesting how both of y'all you can tie it back to Toonami being a point for you all being a thing. Where I didn't have Toonami growing up. It was, hey, however you see it, you see it. There's no place to go to just sit and do it. You know, we were getting stuff recorded on VHS tapes in Japan and mailed over, and then we're going to buy those in the store. Like with commercials on them and everything. Like however we had to get anime, we were going for it. When Sunco started selling anime.
Guys, yeah. We should guys to watch them with too. That's the thing. I didn't have a lot of people to watch it with. I watched it with my brother and my dad when they would watch it with me. Zach would watch it with me more often.
It's funny. My brother's name is Zach.
I got him into One Piece. So, oh really? Nice.
Zach would also watch them with me.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I credit myself for slowly getting him into One Piece because he would just come in and be like, "What you doing?"
Right.
One Piece.
Watching that little pirate show of yours.
Watching my pirates.
Mind if I sit
You
on
want
the edge
to
of this?
watch?
Yeah, you mind if I just hang out for a little bit in your room and just watch it with you?
Also,
Yes.
sports
awesome.
too. Like I was just like I always loved like a cool, edgy character.
Yeah.
And when I was younger, I would play in my backyard as a kid and try and be that character. You know what I mean? Goku with the hands,
Oh
or
my God,
Naruto with
yes.
the little hand signs. So that's what I think that Naruto and Dragon Ball Z did so well for themselves as marketing, is they had something that kids could pretend to be. You know what I mean? I think that's why it picked up so much. And no offense to my GOAT Luffy, because he is my GOAT. But as a child, it's really hard to imagine yourself, you know what I'm
stretching,
saying?
yeah.
Stretching versus Kamehameha. Like, that's easy. You know what I mean? So
or run around like a ninja, the Naruto run and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Or the hand signs. There wasn't a kid who watched Naruto who didn't try a hand sign. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like those.
Forget a kid.
things,
anybody who watched that show tried to do hand signs.
Facts. Literally, there's not a single person who's like,
no,
let me just.
And I know people that got good at it.
Yeah, there's people who remember them and stuff.
random
I did too. I remember the little. I can't remember it now, but when I was a kid, I did the little fire jutsu. But yeah, those things were really good. And pretending like I could be that character was it for me. So Fist of the North Star, Abaki too, but my dad didn't like that one, so I couldn't watch that one as much. Dragon Ball Z and Naruto, I could pretend to be them. So I love them. I think Naruto was a little bit later because that was when I was more a teenager. Yeah.
But
that was
awesome.
Pokemon.
Awesome. Yeah. Great question, Gabby, to set this whole thing off with. Little insight to us and our history of how we all got here. So before we wrap things up, we got to get into the weeklies. And for people listening or watching, the weeklies are the seasonal animes that we kind of watch together on the weekends. So like right now, like for instance, we mentioned Wistoria earlier. I know we still got to watch the finale of that, but we've already discussed how Wistoria has just been great this entire time. We definitely, I would say, would recommend it to people who haven't seen it yet. It is definitely worth the viewing. Action is top notch. Not an unfamiliar story, but done really well so far. I'm liking the character designs, and I'm liking where they're taking this. So I'm interested to see where they go in season 2 after I see how it all ends in season 1. Anything else you all want to highlight from this season for us to talk about?
Of anime?
Yes, for our weeklies. Gabby, have you been watching Fairy Tail? Because I haven't yet.
I have been watching Fairy Tail. That's one of the ones I want to highlight. Fairy Tail 100-Year Quest. If you hadn't been already, first of all, knowing it existed, because the manga's been around for a while. It's been a slower release, but it's been around ever since the original Fairy Tail one ended. I think it came back shortly afterwards. So to see it finally kind of coming in anime is amazing. And it's been a while since I saw the first part, so I'm relearning it again. But I absolutely love it, and it's just Fairy Tail. You get the same feelings that you do from the show, and I think anyone who is a fan is gonna love it. So I highly recommend it.
Okay, that makes me look even more forward to finally sitting down and catching up on the 100-Year Quest, because I know I'm also a fan of Fairy Tail, but I want to rewatch it again because I just finished playing the game a couple months ago, the RPG, and it just kind of left a bad taste in my mouth when it was all done. And so I'm like, I'd rather go back and kind of just relive it and rewatch it before I dive into the 100-year arc. So plan to do that this winter. What else do we have here that we've been watching?
I want to know when you guys are going to drop Elusive Samurai, because I hadn't started watching that one yet.
Noah, how would you explain what is going on with Elusive Samurai?
Because I was looking forward to it because of just how it looked and how big I am on visuals. But I'm interested to hear why you guys don't like it.
They have potential, but Cloverworks lost. I mean, not lost, but I think they picked up too many titles because Cloverworks made this one. Excuse me, and they have dropped as of recently. I'm trying to bring their recent newest titles up, but they have dropped Bocchi the Rock movie, which was already being dropped. They worked on Black Butler, which was one of their larger titles. They worked on Spy Family, the movie, Spy Family before that, and obviously only took a little break with Spy Family. Windbreakers last season, Bocchi the Rock season before that, Spy Family season before that. So they've just been consistently dropping titles back to back. And me and Benny are always talking about how they never miss. Like they always pick up really good titles, make them look really good. And I think this time they missed because maybe they were overworked. What I predict is that Black Butler had 2 cores, and I think they were focusing on the second core because that series is really popular in the
East. Yeah, you can't mess up with Black Butler. That's a crime if you do.
Right. So I think that I personally haven't seen it, but I don't know how much action is going on or what's going on. But I think they're delving all their resources into that and put their B team, if you will, on Elusive Samurai, because one episode had to have been one of the worst episodes of anime I've ever
It's like
seen.
halfway through it. Yeah, it was god awful.
And they showed like they skip the main character's final attack on the main boss. They showed like streaks of light. They wouldn't animate freaking sword swings like at all. Endless stills and 3D horses. And it came from just like a 10 out of 10 episode 1. So when I saw episode 1, usually I'm not like with other studios, I'm like, we gotta wait and see. But with A1,
they started off strong. Yeah, they started off very strong.
Because it's Cloverworks, and if you see them start out strong, you would expect that they would carry through because that's what they've done for all the others.
Yep, they did not on this one at all.
So
like, we just all pretty much threw our hands up at the last episode. Like, really, this is what we're doing for this last episode? Come on now.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of sucks because it did look really good.
Yeah, it does, and the story's still good. Honestly, if you're interested in it, I would watch like the first 3 episodes and just read it. That's what I would do.
Yeah, I'll still want to check it out.
Yeah, but that being said, there was a couple hidden gems from the season. Like I think the Isekai Suicide Squad was really fun.
I gotta finish it, but it was
because
it was getting me into it more.
It wasn't like an overall amazing project, but if you like Suicide Squad, you like the DC universe, you know what I mean? You like superheroes and stuff like that, or you like Harley, I think they made Harley a perfect anime Harley. It would be cool to see her get in a real, like, well-made series. They had one called, what is it called? They had one called Failure Frame. I became the strongest and annihilated everything with my low-level spills. And the animation is god awful, but the story is so good. And is one of those that I gave it one episode and I was like, oh, this story seems interesting. And then I saw endless CG in 3D and I was like, this is horrible. But then I was like, I'm gonna give it another episode because I was interested. And I just couldn't stop. I watched the whole thing and it was good.
Okay.
But the animation is cool.
We got
that is weird animation.
Hides her feelings in Russian or whatever it is.
Aliyah sometimes hides her feeling Russian. Yeah, that was great.
That was really good.
That was a great rom-com.
Yeah,
along with
too many losing heroines.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I said just
losing too many heroines.
Hilarious. I actually watched.
Those were the 2 rom-coms of them.
I actually watched Aliyah both subbed and dubbed. I think it's solid either way. I think the comedy comes out a little bit stronger.
Here we go with Lo, always in his dub, bro.
Every time
he's gonna say, I watched the dub, he's gonna say, I actually think it's a really solid.
No, that's not what I said. I said it's pretty good. I overall I like the voices more. I think a little bit more in the Japanese one. I just think the comedy stands out a little bit more dubbed, just from the inflections they may say and stuff like that. It just the comedy portion hits a little harder. But losing too many heroines, that's a good dub. That is genuinely a good dub. All great casting, like it's really solid. And I've watched,
but I can never hear when there's a bad dub, so I don't know how to judge this because they're all at least solid or good, but they're never bad.
Oh,
I don't know how to judge this.
Fairy Tail, I don't like Fairy Tail's dub.
You don't like it or it's bad?
No, I think it's bad. In comparison to the Japanese, I've tried to,
well, I think
and I can't get past. I can't get past the first episode.
He can't judge Fairy Tail.
I was gonna say I think the whole series is bad, so I agree with you. But
whatever,
that's one.
He says it's all bad.
Whatever.
I'm not surprised. Nah, but okay. Heroine's got a good dub. I don't think so because this is A1, which A1 works directly in conjunction with Cloverworks, and they made Solo Leveling. They've also been dropping back-to-back titles and haven't been missing. And this one right here,
they have a very fluid animation style.
Absolutely. They dropped
very well animated. Arguably, probably one of the best animated shows this year. It's just really, really well done.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wouldn't put it above Oshinoko, but it's still really good. Like they don't move quite as much. I'll say that, but it's damn near like it's like seasonal Pixar. Like it's really good. And the reason I say that is because when you watch a Pixar, you always notice like the small details they pay attention to. Like, oh, he fixed his pocket this way, or oh, he picked something out of his ear that just like they would skip in a normal. And in this one, it's like they do all the stuff. You know what I mean? They do all the little stuff, and it's really good. Also, the characters are really relatable. And they're not like creepy, and they feel like normal ass high schoolers with normal problems.
So that's really the more is going on. Like I got a couple episodes left of it, but like that's really shining with those conversations they're having. They seem very, very real, like they're in high school going through these things for the first time, like not being able to say what's actually on their mind and having to deal with that, or just guys being stupid and want to ask the girl out, thinking he did it, but did it in a dumb way or something like that, and miscommunication. It kind of covers all that, which is it's refreshing.
And the final episode was great. It was
okay. So I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna finish that out.
To see it.
The final episode was great. They finally gave you a little hint that Yanami, she likes him, but they're gonna have to push it back.
Tell.
But I mean, she doesn't know that. She doesn't know she likes him. She just thinks she's really close to him because she's still getting over the last guy. But
I know. What are your thoughts on Perry? I know we ran through I Perry everything.
Perry was great. Perry was awesome.
I think it was cool. I think it's a fun watch.
Yeah, it was a fun watch. I wouldn't watch it again. Yeah. But it was great. The main character was the best thing about it. They didn't really have any redeemable side characters. It was more like a meme show because it's called I Parry Everything.
Yeah.
And he actually literally does everything. Like it's like you always think like one episode's called I Parry a Dragon. He parries a dragon. One episode's called I Parry a Demon Lord. He parries a Demon Lord. One episode's called I Parry an Army. He literally parries an army.
Hey, look, I love the fact that they give you the title at the end of it. Like, like you're watching, like, all right, we're figuring out what's the title going to be. I parry what? And as we're watching the show, like, it's going to be I Parry a Dragon. And then at the end, they put it on the screen, like, okay.
That's kind of fun. I like that.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
And so that one was cool, but I think there was another one that came out that was similar to it called I know the beginning name, but the long name. The awesome newbie adventurer trained to death by the most powerful party became invincible. And this
I just grabbed that one.
And Perry are literally names. I honestly have grown accustomed to them. I used to hate them. Now I like them.
I'm accustomed to them. I'm a little tired of them.
They're funny.
I'm just like, before I was like, bro, stop it. Now I'm like, okay, what's this one going to be? You know what I mean? It's kind of like.
It's a new one coming out for the fall season that I'm looking forward to. It's I'm a guild receptionist, but I can solo anything or something like that.
Yeah,
like, okay.
I told you guild receptionists. So cool.
I want to watch that.
I told you guild receptionists are on the level of the student council president. Have you seen Konosuba? Why is the guild receptionist accepting money to fix the city? That makes no sense. She's like, your city told us. I'm like, should I be talking to the mayor or the king?
No.
But anyways, Awesome Newbie Adventurer and Perry are the same story. Literally almost the same story. Both of them are one person wanted to be really strong, couldn't, and then got trained by strong people to become strong and put in that work. Except Perry, he got trained and just put in the work. And Awesome Newbie Adventurer, he has this like S-rank adventurer with him, and he wants to be an adventurer, and he trains, and he basically gets really strong because he keeps dying, but they revive him. And this training is like hell. So he goes through hell and becomes just insanely strong. It's super fun. Good. 7.8 out of 10. Very enjoyable weekly.
I can go with some super fun.
Let's quickly name the other gems since we're getting close.
Right.
Tower of God was an utter and complete disgraceful disappointment. And it's beyond repair.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I've been lost for the past few episodes, and I need to go back and rewatch to see what I'm missing. I don't know if I'm just.
I don't think it'll matter.
The episode or what, but I'm so lost trying to watch that thing now.
The directing is so awful. You literally can't even tell. Like, it's like they just go from scene to scene. You don't see people walking to locations. You don't see like outside. I don't even know if they're in the fucking tower or if they're in a Walmart. Like, I have no idea. And I feel like unless you've read it, you're not going to know. That being said, the intro and outro is godly.
I'm actually glad to hear you say that. about. So I thought it was just me. Like maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm missing something with this season of it.
No, that's what me and Benny been talking about every week. And then not on top of that, the first season had just masterful, artful that almost looked Disney. I said Pixar before, but I was just using it as a reference. This almost looked like Disney art style.
They should have never changed the art style of that. The art style was one of the charms of that show.
It was like drawn like Pinocchio. It kind of looked like Pinocchio art. And
it
was really unique. Good.
Yeah.
And then the second season is just bad. So that's one thing. Oshinoko is great, but it's my opinion, the worst arc. So it's dragging.
The slowest arc.
People aren't talking about it as much.
I think I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it for what it is. I don't know, just because
everything else, it's not good.
When Oshinoko is all said and done, and we've concluded it, nobody's gonna be talking about the play. That's my issue. Yeah. Like when I did appreciate certain aspects of the play, like how it was animated and how yes, throwing strings and flying around, but they're doing the action scenes like for real. Like some of that stuff I thought was pretty cool. But I do agree. I think with what the story is about, this is not going to matter. Except for how it ends. Like when I think it matters towards the story because they're in a production company and stage play is a huge part of like small time production in Japan. But I think that it doesn't need to be a season. Like we could have got, in my opinion,
it could have been
3 episodes.
Okay.
2, 3. Why? The reason we're in the Oshinoko, we want to know who killed Ai. We want to know who killed Ai. We want that killed.
We're gonna sit here and wait until we get the answer.
This is a revenge story. I don't give about no play. Animation is cool. Sorry,
let's be real. At this point, this is a revenge / really, really weird romance story at this point. People are wondering where that's gonna go. You cannot tell me people aren't wondering.
Manga readers know. Gabby knows.
Well, yes, we do know. We do know where this is going.
This is going to take me a while to find out that answer.
Every anime fan up, especially if the series keeps remaining, because what I predict is this season is going to be slow. Next season is going to be because it's really juicy after this. Like it gets right back into it. This part just sucks. So next season is going to be good. And then people are going to get hooked again and they're going to get super hooked, have their favorite characters, and they're going to get to that moment and be like, oh, what the fuck?
Everyone's going to drop it at that moment in time.
I know it's coming. So
it's coming.
Looking forward to that.
That's something.
I don't think you should be.
And
it's something.
I'm gonna say before we get out of here, we do have to talk on the very, very disappointing slime season, Noah.
Okay.
The
slime season had ended. It actually was a spring anime, it was a spring anime.
But it ran over
22 episodes, 24 episodes. That season was just a little bit slow. I kept comparing it because Overlord season 4 had a slow season. And kind of the meta of these creation world isekais is new character, builds powers, builds world, builds friends. Second season engages with humans, interacts, they figure out he's alive. Third season, they figure out how to deal with it, right? So that's when the conversation happens. That's when they slow down. And that's what happened this time. It's just that, for example, in Overlord in the 4th season, everyone's trying to figure out how to be friends with this Overlord while at the same time trying to figure out how to kill him because he's going to kill them. And in Slime, they're trying to figure out how to make a train and a McDonald's. So it's like, it's not that it's not fun. I mean, it's not that it's not good, but it's like, we just saw this man become a demon lord. Can I see them fight? And for the love of God, can Benny Maru fight? 24 episodes and no Benny Maru fight? Bro.
No, it was, and I think coming off the dud movie, it just didn't help coming into this one.
Help at all.
Yeah, it didn't help at all. So in order to get, I think, people kind of back champion Slime like they once did with season 1 and 2, they're gonna have to step it up in the next season or next movie. Like they're gonna have to step it up on those. Because
I think that they know that that's the case, which is why they immediately announced, because
both of them,
they 24, and they immediately announced the movie and it. I think they know that they need to get to the good stuff because this season even the intro was like some daggone. Have y'all heard Xenoverse 2 lobby music? It was that bad.
No.
Xenoverse lobby music is some of the worst music in the history of gaming. It was that bad.
Dang.
I don't know. Nah, it wasn't that bad. I gassed it because I don't want to be disrespectful to the artist, but it was pretty
bad.
Enjoyable.
It was bad.
It wasn't a great song.
It is what it is. Yeah, it was bad.
It wasn't a great song.
Yeah.
But then the only 2 left we got are Nier Automata, which I haven't watched, but I heard the soundtrack is so good that they're doing an orchestra tour. So I'm definitely going to watch it. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And an isekai that was a really interesting one that had a very interesting concept that I think was super fun called No Longer Allowed in Another World.
Oh,
And
when we started. Yeah.
It's basically about a main character that is suicidal. And this character is suicidal and he wants to die with his fiance. And he wants to die, but not only does he want to die, he's a romantic. He's a melancholy writer. So he wants to have a romantic, edgy death, right? So he goes to do that, but instead of doing that, he gets spawned into another world. And when he gets spawned into another world, he's a hero, but he's depressed as hell. He literally carries around like Percocets. Like he's super depressed and like, but he's depressed, but he wants to die in a purposeful way. And he doesn't want you to die. And, you know what I mean? Like think that poorly of himself. So anytime he sees people down bad or somebody that needs help, this OP power he has, he uses it to help them. And he's this very interesting, like edgy character. And it's just a fun concept for an isekai.
I'm gonna go back and revisit that one.
It is.
Yeah, I'm
and the outro is one of my favorite intro artists. So it's listen to the outro if you listen to it. And it's just a great concept. It's very funny. Like he'll get healed after his battle, and he'll be like, I feel too good. I need to do something. And then he'll just go start drinking poison. So when people like appraise him, they're like, hold on, it's a hero, it's an otherworlder. Because all the otherworlders are they use their otherworld powers for their own gain, but he doesn't. All he wants to do is find his fiance who's in this world and die with her together.
Oh, so his fiance's in the world too.
I don't know. I didn't see her isekai. He seems to think she might be. I don't know.
I hope she is.
Right. Like
Gabby's about to go down. Gabby's about to start watching as soon as we get off this. Go down the rabbit hole. You know she is.
And it's finished. So you have 12 episodes. It's finished. It's on Crunchyroll. But so
oh yeah, so there you go.
The Otherworlder, and he's an Otherworlder, and he's what was I gonna say? I can't remember. But yeah, he just started drinking poison. So oh no, they praised him, and they're like, it's an Otherworlder. Be careful, they have crazy powers. And they praised him, and they said, wait a minute. Don't worry. Not only is he at 0 health, he's poisoned. They're like, what the heck? Because dude's drinking poison. And then all of a sudden he finds out that he might die and his vitality and health starts rising because yes, people will be like, I'm going to flay you. And he's like, you'll flay me? Are you sure? And they're like, whoa. He's like, it's a figure of speech, bro.
Relax there, buddy. Relax.
He's like, hey, don't just say stuff.
He's a masochist.
Yes, a strong masochist.
Oh, I love this.
Why?
No reason.
We're unlocking Gabby's kinks as we
I know, right?
What do you mean unlocking?
We're just tapping into them. That's it. Just tapping into
level 2.
Wait till I bring up a question about Yaoi and Yuri.
Oh my goodness. I feel like that's level 1 because that's the base level.
That's true. You did put me in charge of topics.
Yeah, we did. So we see what train that's going to go down in the future at some point, probably knowing Gabby.
Hi,
But look. All right. Before we get out here, first I want to thank anybody who's been watching, who's been listening. We definitely appreciate it. Like I said, we've been waiting to do this for a long time, and now we're actually doing it. As far as Thriller Park this week, you'll be seeing this on Thursday, so that means tonight we'll be watching the at least first 3 to 4 episodes of Rainbow. I believe it's 26 episodes in total, so we'll just see what people's schedules are looking like. This one was brought to us by Marcus, one of our other admins. He handles it and does the wrestling stuff with jokes over with the finisher and the wrestling side of Loading Snacks. So this was his right. So he picked this one. Like. So we don't know how this is going to go, but we're going to find out together. Come Thursday
I've heard
night.
Great things about this manga.
I've heard nothing about this.
I've not heard a thing about this.
If I'm not mistaken, this is a degenerate anime.
Yeah, it's matter of fact, I have the synopsis right here. It's set in 1955. The anime follows the story of 7 teenagers locked in a reformatory, waiting for a ray of light in a daily hell of suffering and humiliation, focusing especially on how they faced life once regained freedom. So
yeah, it's on Pompadour and Moped status. So, and it's what's it called? I forgot what I was going to say. I'm not going to lie, but it's been on my list for a while. It's been on my list for a while, so I'm excited. And Marcus said he finally hasn't seen this one. I think this is like the first one he suggested that he hasn't seen. So
it sounds like this is something none of us have seen before, which is going to be awesome.
I think that might be a first.
Yeah, I think that is a first.
Yeah.
Out of hey, next week we gotta like post on the screen or something all of our Thriller Park entries, and then one week we gotta like do like a tier list or something, like, you know what I mean, like,
oh, that would be cool,
or like
Gabby,
rate all of the ones that we've watched so far. You know what I mean? I mean, just as like something we could, yeah. So
we can run that. That's cool.
Exactly. So y'all already know, Made in Abyss, ReZero,
Well,
Kaiju, or Kaiji.
We're gonna have some discussions. We'll have some discussions about those.
I like it, or my ranking on my obsession, because I'm sorry, Corpse Party and School Days might be up there.
That's correct. There's no way.
I mean, they're not going to be ReZero, but if we're going on obsession.
What's that stupid story with the kid who wakes out of the coma for his girlfriend to cuck him? Erased?
I want to say
King's Game?
Yes.
Where he was in a coma. We watched it. He was in a coma.
Yeah. It was the first one we did Erased. Yeah.
And the girl who spent his whole life looping and saving ended up having a kid with his best friend.
When I figured out who was the villain no time in the first episode.
I will never forgive that anime.
I liked that anime.
But yes, that is what we have.
I like everything except for the conclusion.
Park.
It was a great thriller.
Yeah, like I said, that's what we got coming up in Thriller Park.
Eat nails.
Yeah,
bro, it makes me mad thinking about it.
You know what makes me mad?
Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
I don't know. Gabby maybe can go down the rabbit hole and figure it out. I don't know. But something tells me she's going to stay down.
There's no redemption.
The Corpse Party and School Days rabbit hole for a while. So yes, unfortunately, that's going to wrap it up for us for now. We'll be back here next week, Thursdays, 10 a.m. Check it out with us. And we'll see you in Discord for Rainbow this Thursday evening. So until then, everybody, we will catch you next week. Right here.
Peace.
Loading snacks.